this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., come meet me at the Motorama in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'll be there with Guitarmageddon and the rest of the 717 Street Crew. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Mike Davenport, Louisville's Chevy Dude here at Bachman Chevrolet. Now, yesterday's vlog, I talked about this 2018 Silverado. What is this? A 2018 Silverado 1-ton truck with the Duramax diesel engine at Z71. And I did just a special order for those awesome people right over there that's paying for their vehicle. And the reason I did a special order on this was really for one reason. And that one reason was to protect the interest of my client. Since I've done this order, I came into an issue, not me personally, one of my sales guys came into an issue with a truck we did a dealer trade on. In today's vlog, I'm going to tell you why I don't like doing dealer trades for a couple different reasons. The risk, the liability, and the cost, and why you pay more money typically on a dealer trade. So it's real late at night here at the dealership. I'm getting ready to go home. I'm going to print off a couple things to give you some visuals on what happens of why a dealer trade actually costs you more money and how dealerships typically get screwed over on a dealer trade. Whoop, somebody just shut the lights off. So I'm gonna show you how it's not cost effective to go to a dealer that has to get a vehicle from another dealer, show you the risk of getting a vehicle from another dealer, and then also just a couple ways how to protect yourself. When a Chevrolet dealership pays General Motors for a car, they do what's called pay 310. So pay 310 is the gross amount of money that we're going to pay for a vehicle to the manufacturer, okay? And in this case, this is $46,184.26. Oops, 26, there we go. So that's what happens. Now, typically speaking, every dealership out there has what's called advertising, which is line 261. So what that does is this is going to be like when you see an ad on TV. This is visit your local Chevy dealers, and at the end it shows all these Chevy dealers in your area. If you have an affiliate type team like AAA baseball or basketball team, stuff like that, NBA D League, stuff like that. Those a lot of times they'll get sponsors from local businesses to sponsor their league. So with that being said, we have advertising that's built into every car. So in this particular case, that is $236.58, okay? So this money can never come back to us. This is spent money. It's never coming back to us in any way, shape, or form. So now we have the really cool term that everybody thinks about and everybody knows about and they think they understand it and all that stuff. We have holdback, okay? So holdback is, in a nutshell, an interest-free loan to the manufacturer, and then once you complete all these tasks to get, so those surveys that you get from General Motors, so you want to know why a dealership pounds you on surveys, this is one of the reasons why. So this is an interest-free loan to the manufacturer. On this particular truck, by the way, I'm using a Silverado here, the most common Silverado out there, which happens to be a crew cab LT Z71 truck with a 5.3 liter engine in it. So holdback on this particular truck is $1,419.45, okay? So that is going to the manufacturer for about 90 days or so, sometimes a little bit quicker, just depending on how everything goes. So now we have what's called 237, okay? This is also a terminology in the automotive industry called triple net. So this is the absolute net money that we get for the vehicle. So in this particular figure is $44,055.08, okay? So when you take this number minus this number minus this number, it equals $44,055. So now, what happens on a dealer trade, let me step back and go this way. What happens when I sell you a car, we're a volume store. My store is 204th in the country out of over 4,000 Chevy dealers in the nation for volume. So we're certainly a volume store. We don't start anything out at MSRP. We don't start anything out at sticker, and we don't have to work your best deal. We publish our best prices because everybody looks on the internet and says, hey, you know what? They got the best price. Let's just go there. There's no more phone calls of, hey, work your best price, stuff like that. I've explained that in the past, and especially on social media and Facebook. So what happens is we may sit there and say, hey, listen, we're going to sell this $1,500 back of invoice. This is invoice right here, $310. So if I'm selling this $1,500 back, I'm well into holdback, and on paper, this is a loser deal. So now we have some incentives coming from the manufacturer when we hit bogeys and stuff like that. So, and that's something completely a realm of things and so goofy out there that not every dealership hits it, and very few dealerships hit it. So you have to go to a big volume store in order to get that going. So now, from a financial standpoint, you call dealer ABC, and then you're like, hey, I'm looking for this truck and blah, 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 blah. Or you go into dealership ABC because you see their car on the internet and they just sold it, okay? They don't have it anymore. They're like, oh, but we can get that. That's what the salesman's always gonna say. Hey, no, it won't be a problem. We can get that. So what happens is you find that truck and it's at another dealership, and you give the dealership a deposit, and now dealership ABC calls dealership XYZ and says, hey, you have this truck available. Can I have it to sell to a customer? They say, sure, not a problem. I'll sell it to you for $310 less holdback. Is this less sign? No, that's greater. Yeah, that's less, no, it's greater than it's less holdback, okay? So basically, what that dealership is saying is, I'm gonna sell it to you for $44,055 plus $236.58, and that's what you can sell it for. So now what happened is dealership XYZ has just made a $1,400 profit on dealership ABC. So if dealership ABC is not buying it like this from the manufacturer, that dealership XYZ is now became a middleman, okay? So now they can't sell it for as cheap up here as they had in this car in inventory that maybe they had for sale for $44,000, right? So now they've done that. So sometimes they'll be like, hey, listen, I'll sell it to you for $310 less half the holdback. So now that dealership, rounded numbers, is selling that car to dealership XYZ for $700 profit. So that's what they're doing. So typically the dealerships will always pay the advertising because they're just transferring monies. We don't want to pay your advertising, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of them are at different markets, not in the same market. So that's financial reasons why you don't want to do a dealer trade with another dealer. You want to buy something they have in stock because they're paying the lowest price possible. Like I said, when you're dealing with ABC dealership and they have to go to XYZ dealership, XYD dealership bought that car from GM, so GM is now selling it to XYZ, XYZ is selling it to ABC, and ABC is selling it to you. So there's 4 players in the game of selling you a simple truck. And XYZ dealership is the one who's going to win financially because they're selling this car to ABC for either $700 or $1,400 truck. Now take for granted, these are real true numbers. These are on a truck that I have in inventory, a truck that happens every single day. We sell a ton of Silverados, so these are true, accurate numbers. Now, I'm going to show you why you don't want to do a dealer trade, because this video that's coming up is exactly a real life scenario. We got duped as a dealership. We didn't catch it. It's our mistake. Shame on that other dealership. We'll never do another dealer trade with them again. And I'll finish up the rest of the story after this video. Hey everyone, so I'm a really big guy of talking to my clients and not buying a vehicle from another dealership. So I know I just posted recently about a friend helping me get a car at his dealership, but it's a friend that I trust and he's not going to screw me over. This is a truck that came out of Georgia. So dealer wanted one of our vehicles. They brought this up to us. We had since sold this vehicle. I was not the salesperson, and we found out that the truck had actually been wrecked. Now this is a brand new untitled truck, drove from Georgia to here, and we find out it's been wrecked. Let me show you something. I have what's called a paint meter, and this gauges a metal surface on how thick the metal or how thick the paint is. So a typical paint could be anywhere from 2 to 4 mils, 5 mils, something like that. And I'll show you this right here. So I'm gonna put this on there. You can see that this meter is showing 5. This door is showing 5 on here. So I'm 4.5. Get it on there again. There we go, 4.5 there. And now watch this door. 10.5. This door has been 100% painted, and you can tell because the factory is never going to paint anything this thick. Now we come down here, and you can see I'm 8.0 there, 7.0 there. And sometimes those 5s and 6s and 7s are okay. It's just where they blended this paint. But when you get something like this of being 10, and then you come back here, and you get a reading of 3.5 and then a reading of 4.0, you know 100% that this truck has been painted. So my best advice, if you're buying a vehicle, make sure you buy it from somebody that you know, you trust, and then try to stay away from dealer trades. Buy something they have in inventory, because that dealership will take full responsibility of the vehicle they sell to you, and it's tough to do when we get it from another dealership. So more tips, make sure you like the page, thumbs up, share the video, and I'll see you in the next video. So the story on the black truck that you just saw me showing the paint meter on is a dealer out of Georgia wanted one of our trucks, and they shipped this truck to us. So with that in mind, we got it. We didn't really inspect it. It's our mistake, and we've changed kind of some of the protocols to make sure this doesn't happen again. And we sold the truck unknowing that it had been damaged or wrecked. And the customer bought the vehicle like on a real snowy day or a real rainy day or whatever the case may be. And so the salesman involved, as I do as well, is, hey, listen, it's a crappy day, let's not even worry about cleaning it up. We'll go fill it with gas for you, take all the window stickers and everything off, and then on a really nice day, let's swing in and we'll do a full detail for you, and you know, that way you have a nice truck again. So that's what we did. So without going through our cleanup protocol, we did not find what I'm about to tell you. So the customer, about a month later, contacted the salesperson and said, hey, there's some issues with this paint, you know, blah 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 blah. Well, when the customer found that, he started doing more and more looking, as I would as well. And what happened was he found broken glass in the back of the truck cab. So now, you know, he's upset, he's pissed off, as again he should be. So he's calling up here, he's a little upset, what happened to his truck, you know, blah blah blah, and like, we don't know, it wasn't our vehicle. And so we tried to make it correct. Customer was not happy, so we, number one, we took care of the customer 100%. We always want happy customers, and we try to do everything we can to make them 100% satisfied with buying a purchase from us. We want them to buy cars from us again. We want them to send referrals. We want them to send them repeat business. Not to mention the social media, you know, out calling that something bad could happen. So we don't want that issue either, because we're not that type of dealership. So we traded the customer out of the vehicle. And when I say traded, we gave him 100% of the value of the vehicle that he paid for a month earlier. We titled the vehicle's in his name, the loan's gone to the bank and all that stuff. So we gave him 100% of the money back that he paid for it, and we found him a brand new vehicle in stock that was our unit, that he was happy with. There was no blemishes. We went through it, standard operating procedure. It was a nice day, so we had it cleaned up before he took delivery and all that good stuff. So here are a few tips on, oh yeah, I'll tell you this too. So we called this dealership up and said, hey man, you guys sent us a wrecked truck, and of course they're like, duh, we don't know anything about it. So that's something you have to worry about on a dealer trade. You just never know. You just have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea if they're hiding something, and it's just not truthful. It is what it is. So here are some tips to protect yourself when you're looking for a vehicle. Okay, if you absolutely 100% have to do a dealer trade, if you're in a local town, you're loyal to that person. I love hearing people who are loyal to a dealership or to a salesperson, and that dealership has to go to another vehicle. Just ensure when you pick up the vehicle that it's good. You know, go through it, make sure it's clean. You know, stuff like that. You know, you don't have to go to the extent of putting a paint meter on it, but just look for paint lines, look for issues, stuff like that. So, but here's how if you're going out to a dealership and you want to protect yourself in a new car, because number one, there's not a perfect car out there. There's no such thing as a perfect car. Even a brand new $150,000 ZR1 that's getting ready to come up, there's going to be issues on the ZR1 that I deliver. I promise you 100%. I'll find some. So here's a couple tips on knowing that a vehicle you're physically looking at on a dealership's lot is their vehicle or something they've gotten from another dealer, and how to protect yourself. So the very first thing you can do, on every window sticker, it shows a sold to dealership. So if it was sold to Bachman Chevrolet, it would say right on there Bachman Chevrolet. If it was sold to ABC Motors, then it would say sold to ABC Motors. So that's going to tell you right then and there of where the vehicle was originally sold to. If you can't locate that, which that's on every window sticker, every model, every make, every every manufacturer has that ad on their window sticker. I think it's a law. Secondly, the first thing you can do is go simply look at the odometer. If the odometer reading's got 1, 2, 10 miles, 15 miles, most likely it's going to stay at that dealership. It's not going to be given anywhere else. If it's got 250 miles, now you can sit there and be like, oh, wait a second, why is this truck got 250 miles? Was it a dealer trade? And then here's some tips to protect yourself to look over a vehicle. Now, every vehicle has got a flaw out there. There's no such thing as a perfect vehicle. You can spend $150,000 on a car, and it's gonna have a flaw on it somewhere. You can always find something. My personal Corvette's got flaws. My Camaro had flaws when I bought it. It is what it is. So, but things you can look at is just look for like obvious waves in the paint. You can look for any type of extra compound from buffing. You can sit there and feel inside the doors and see if there's a tape line. You got to be experienced on tape lines because there's different feelings on the inside of the door, so you have to really be experienced on tape lines. If you sit there and just look at it and just see if there's any different colors in the paint, you know, if a car had been on a lot for a year, it's going to fade, and something happened to it, and this truck back here is real bright black, and this part of the truck is not, then you know you can look at that and see if there's any color differences. So just those couple things will protect you on purchasing a new vehicle. And if you do a dealer trade, just inspect it before you buy it. You're not obligated in any way, shape, or form. Even if you give a big deposit, you're not obligated in any way, shape, or form to take a vehicle that doesn't meet your wants and needs, doesn't meet your quality requirements. That risk is a little bit on the dealership, but again, if something comes up, they can hopefully call that dealership, and that dealership will be honest. So if there's any questions on anything, throw it down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to go into more detail on anything. I look at all my comments on YouTube. I try to respond to all of them. You know, as my channel gets bigger and bigger, it might get a little bit harder to do, but I do watch them closely. So again, any questions, let me know. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day and drive safely.